What's up, everybody, and welcome to the third episode of the Summer of Morning Cup of Hockey presented by Bet365. That's Colby Cohen. I'm Johnny Lazarus. We got a great show for you today. One of my really good friends coming, and yes, my actual really good friend is coming on the show, Mitchell Chaffee from the Tampa Bay Lightning, my former teammate at UMass. Really happy to finally have him on. It's been a while since we've been trying to get him on, so happy we were able to make the time. But also, we should let you know, Colby and I are recording this right now. It is 8:07 on Sunday night, July 27th, just because of some scheduling stuff going on this week. Tonight was the only night that we were able to sit down and record. So if we do miss anything on Monday and Tuesday, you'll know why. With that said, both of us have had a lot of busy weekends, I guess, this summer. Things are kind of piling on as far as trips and camps and all that kind of stuff. Like, yeah, what do you got going on?
And it's August in a few days.
Yeah.
I mean, summer's
over.
Well, once July 4th hits, the rest of summer is like pretty much a write-off.
I think you've said that on every single episode so far of the summer.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm like kind of because I spent the last 2 weeks doing hockey stuff, which I've never done before. Like I have never, since I've retired, I have never devoted 2 full weeks of my life in the middle of the summer to being in the hockey rink. And that is what the last 2 weeks have been for me, Monday through Friday, in the hockey rink. Like,
are you enjoying it?
Why don't we start with, because I know you're kind of dying to talk about what you did in South Florida.
Yeah. Okay. I say someone else.
And no. We're not gonna get into that just yet. But but why don't you? Because you did something for Daily Faceoff over the weekend, didn't you?
Yeah. So it was for Daily Faceoff, but through the SoFlo League, which is the South Florida like summer pro college junior league that the guys put on down in Pompano Beach. I think that's how you say it. I said it wrong throughout the entire weekend. But my friends like Nico Blatchman, Cole Kodsey, Timmy Kent, and Mark Sharamata, who I met this past weekend, all 4 guys played college hockey. I think Mark, Cole, and Nico play pro right now. But they've put on this like league for the past few years. I'm actually wearing this like really cool SoFlo hat, pretty cool Miami colors, where they have like NHL guys that train in Florida. You hate the hat. Okay, whatever. That train in Florida throughout the summer, play in a 3-on-3 like intense like battle league, and they keep score. They like kind of chirp each other. Like it was pretty intense.
Small ice though, correct?
Small ice. Yeah. Nothing I've never played anything like that in my life before. Like it was really hard. Granted, like I don't play or train every day like these guys do, but it was definitely much harder than I anticipated. And honestly, Colby, like let me just read some of the names that were there this weekend, like because there were some legit NHL players. I actually spent the most time with Brandon Duhaime, who is a beauty. Like that guy is unreal. I'm a huge fan of his now. I'd never met him before. I played against him in college, but got to spend a lot of time with Duhaime over the weekend, which was cool. But Duhaime was there, Lev Shanov was there, Andrew Peak, Ian Moore, Arthur Kaliev, who has a missile. Like every
Isn't
time that
Moore,
guy,
the kid who played at Harvard.
yeah, Harvard and Anaheim.
Mm-hmm.
But Kaliev, whenever Kaliev got the puck, I was like terrified, honestly, of like getting in the way of that.
Why? Because he plays for the Rangers?
No, he plays for Ottawa now, by the way.
He played for the Rangers.
Yeah, but his shot on that rink is a missile, like bullet. Minchikov, who I thought was nasty. Like I played against him on Saturday. He was really good in that 3-on-3. I didn't play against Zadorov, but he was there. This Fedor Svechkov with Nashville, he was really good too. He's a young kid. And then Daryl's, I don't know how to say his last name, like Ulanskis, Austin Wagner, and then in goal. Oh, Steven Kampfer was there too. And then the best goalie there.
Kampfer retired, didn't he?
Yeah, I think he like recently retired, but he was there.
We should have him on the show at some point. We were teammates in the early days, Kampfer and I. Yeah.
Yeah, he seems like a really cool guy. And then Arseny Sergeyev, who was the Penn State goalie this previous year, signed with Calgary. He was like by far the best goalie there this weekend. And I actually did like a 3-puck on him. I got one. I scored on him in 3 pucks. So I was bragging about that a little bit.
You're pretty crafty on the breakaway. I mean, I've seen the videos of like some of those events you do. I'd say you've got some game when it comes to that. So of all those NHLers that you just mentioned, whose skill, because like 3-on-3 obviously is different, but you're playing on a small surface, so like you really kind of find out who has that next level grouping of skill.
Yeah.
And I know if I ask you who sucked and like who didn't have any skill, I know you're not going to actually say
I would
it.
never say that. Yeah.
I know you're not going to have an opinion and actually say that out loud, although you did. There was somebody in particular you mentioned to me, but I won't do you dirty like that
Thank you. I
because I
appreciate
guess
that.
I'm feeling charitable here. But
Yeah.
whose skill set just like oozed out of you? And the reason that I ask you that is because never forget the first time I was in a tight, small area games with Brad Marchand. He skated on an off day with the healthy scratches, and we just played a 3-on-3 game, and Tuukka Rask and Anton Hudobin were the goalies. And you know, the scratch crew is like me, Shane Knighty, Trent Whitfield. You know, like it wasn't the most skilled group. Sean Thornton was in the scratch group, like obviously NHLers, but not like skill coming out of the ass. And then Marshy jumps in the 3-on-3 game one day, and it was like, holy shit. And Marshy was in his first full season in the league that year, so it's not like he had come out of his shell yet. And I just remember being like, wow, this is what that looks like. Now Marshy's gone on to be a Hall of Famer, but it was different. Like these other guys are great NHL players. Like even Nathan Horton played with us a couple of times, like unbelievable player. But like Marshy was just different. And I remember like my mouth being like, oh shit. Like when he has the puck or he's coming for the puck, like it's a different feel. So was there anybody like that in the games that you felt like really was on a little bit of a different level than the rest of the group?
I mean, Kaliev's shot for sure stood out the most to me. Like that was the one thing I thought. I thought Minchikhov's skating though was like the biggest thing. And Minchikov, obviously, he's a 10th overall pick, like young kid in the NHL. I think he's only played 2 years for Anaheim so far. Like he's only 20 or 21 years old. But he's done pretty. Like Minchikov is a name that's talked about. Like I know he's still in the early parts of his career. I don't think he's played even like 200 games. But he's a guy like, you know, Anaheim is a team we've talked about throughout the summer that, you know, I said I think they're going to make the playoffs, and he's going to be, you know, one of those guys on their blue line that has to step up, you know, in year 3 of his career if they're going to do that and make the jump. And I'm going to pull up Daily Faceoff's line charts right now to see like who he plays with. Right now he's listed on the 3rd pair with Drew Helleson.
He just re-signed Helleson. I think I saw that in the last like 2 weeks. I think he got a new deal out in Anaheim.
Yeah, but Minchikov was really good. And then other names too, like Anthony Greco, if you know him. He played on my team as well. Jeremy Davies, you know, he was pretty good too.
I don't know that name.
No, but you know, it was also cool. Like Peter Worrell was there, so I got to meet him, like a Florida Panther legend. Like
he wasn't playing, was he?
No, he wasn't playing. He was there.
He was tough. That guy was a tough customer. I mean,
but he started hockey, like youth hockey in Florida. Like he was the first guy to play for the Panthers that I think like stayed in the area to help grow youth hockey down there. And he was with Pucks for Autism. So we did like a whole skate with the Kids for Autism, you know, for 20, 30 minutes, which is really cool too. And then Ilya Bryskylov was there. I didn't talk to him, but like he was just like watching because his son was in goal, which was like kind of random and cool. And then I don't know if you know Caesar, but Big C's, he's the big Florida Panthers fan. He was like the guy chirping biz throughout the entire playoffs. Like he's just such an electric guy. Like it was really cool hanging out with him too. So it was a great turnout. Hockey in South Florida, like you can tell it's on the rise. Also, their practice facility. Like I got to see the Panthers' new practice facility. It's fucking sick. They got a roller rink, pickleball courts,
it's a country club.
It's unreal.
It's a legitimate country club. So I mean, they are checking every box, man. They are leaving no stone unturned. The Florida Panthers right now with all of the amenities that they're providing. Give Vinny Viola a lot of credit, man. He has dug into that checkbook and made sure that team, although not a cash cow, is providing anything and everything that these players could need. Did you see Bill Zito's day with the cup? Did you see?
Yeah, what he had like was it otter?
He had like an otter drinking out of the cup. He had like dolphins. He must have taken it to like a wildlife, like a marine reservation, which I think is really cool. Like, you know, I mean, look, you get 2 years in a row with it, so you're like probably like, let me switch it up a little bit. I'm a big animal person. It's like, you know, just how I was kind of raised. So when I saw that, I thought that was pretty cool that he did that.
I've probably asked you, but did you get a day with it? No.
So they did half days for guys,
Yeah.
like in my situation, guys who didn't really play. So like you did get to spend a little bit of time with it, but you didn't get what the other guys got. But it was cool for me because like I got Dennis Seidenberg said come to mine first because it was I was at the same time. So I basically got to spend the day with him, and then is when I got my time after that.
Yeah.
And Dennis was pretty funny that night. Like we were, so I mean, I was 21 years old, so still in my party days, and we were in Atlantic City. We went out to a club, I think at Caesars in Atlantic City. I think that's where we were.
Okay.
And he wanted to go home early because like Dennis is a lot more. It's funny because back then, like I was like always like, let's go.
Yeah.
And like Dennis was like, no, like I'm
done.
he was just way too locked in, and like he wasn't really much of a drinker or a partier at all. And like his wife, who's a great friend, like to us, my wife and her are tight now too, and everything. We spend so much time with them down the shore. They live 10 blocks from us at the shore, and Becky Seidenberg has a store in Margate called Offsides.
I think my mom like knows his wife. Right?
She went to the store in Long Island and they met. And your mom was chirping me to Becky.
Yeah, that's right.
It's funny because Becky and I like I said, we've all been friends for such a long time. Going back like 15, 16 years now. But so Dennis like went home early that night, and the cup, he was like, yeah, just like let Colby keep it, like it'll be fun. Like so, like I basically just like had the cup out, like partying at Caesars, and like he went home.
That's sick. Yeah.
So that was
you were in charge of it, or
well,
like,
I mean, they're in charge of it, but
still there.
Yeah, well, no, Phil was not there. I forget the other guy's name. There's
Howie?
3 guys. No, it
Phil,
was the
Howie,
other.
and Mike.
Yeah, I think it was Mike. And so, he was like, yeah, like we'll just keep it. Like Colby can take it for the rest of the night. I mean, they were there's definitely more rules around it now, like how late it can be out and all this stuff. Like, I mean, I'll never forget when Michael Ryder like dropped it and like dented it. But I mean, I got to see some crazy shit. Like, and I mean, that's not stuff that I would ever repeat. Like, you guys know me. I'm usually the first one to just air shit out on here, but I wouldn't betray the guys on that, especially as a guy who like really didn't even deserve to be there. But the cup party, just the team cup parties with the cup, like when we were at Foxwoods and at the MGM in Connecticut, like right after we got back to Boston, like the boys enjoy that trophy. Like, I mean, like there is nothing off limits, and to just get to be witness to it all. I mean, it was a great experience. So, obviously we've kind of gone off on a tangent here.
Yeah, so, but the whole reason why I asked that question originally, I was going to ask you like what you would do today, like if you had a day, if you want it, like Colby Cohen now. And how old are you again? I don't even remember how old you are. But like, what would you be doing today?
It would just be a family thing, honestly. It would just be. I mean, look, I just dropped my my little poker chip that I like to, my little Butcher Gross poker chip that I like to hold in my hand when we do the show, but. The Barry Melrose poker chip, actually. I always like to hang on to this thing while I just like, I have like a little whatever. So
ADHD?
No, I don't think it's that. It's probably more ADD than ADHD, probably. Okay. So what would I do now? It would probably just be a family thing. I mean, obviously I coach. So like if I really got that opportunity now, like I would want to involve the players like from the team, but like how, like it's not super realistic, but I think that it would have, for me, it would always just be a quiet, especially at this, like just a family ordeal. I think what I've kind of gathered is like, by the time you get your day with the cup, it's more about everybody else getting to experience it because you've already kind of had your time with it. And I think would be really cool to get to do that with my family, and I think that would be pretty special. Who knows though? Like if it really happened, like maybe I would make it into more of a public thing. I mean, obviously where I live, like,
because you love people so much.
It's yeah, I know, but that's what I'm saying. You do it for other people. Like that's the thing. Like it's one of those things where you're like, you're doing it for everybody else. And so, and here's the other thing, like I live in Flyers country, man. So people don't, they don't give a shit. I mean, I remember being 21, 22 and playing and checking for charity and like, you know, having all my Bruins gear, obviously, like, and like getting booed by people at checking for charity. Like, yeah, like, cause checking for charity is a tournament that they play at the Voorhees at Voorhees Skate Zone. Yeah. So that's where the Flyers practice. So, you know, this is Flyers country. People are not interested in the cup if it hasn't anything to do with the Flyers, which is why, like I said, it would be low key. But it did remind me seeing your pictures on social media that you play hockey, and I had a brief moment of being annoyed at you for not playing and checking for charity with us in a couple of weeks.
Even though I said I would, you told me not
I know, but we don't need you. Like I filled the team. I mean, I've got it's funny, like I was able to put together like a pretty good group of guys. And we've got Sam Lipkin, who's plays in the AHL, Justin Solvay, who plays at Harvard, who is gonna sign a free agent deal after this year. We've got Ryan Fine playing from Harvard, who had a big season. Yeah, you know him. We've got Jamie Lundmark. I'm sure you know that name. He played for the Rangers at one point. He played probably 300 games in the National Hockey League, played a lot in Europe. Vinny Maltz is playing. Obviously, we had Vinny on the show, which will be fun.
Yeah.
And then we just have some of the junior guys. I skated actually this past week because it was Titans training camp all week, or Titans main camp for our junior team all week. Because it camp didn't open till 9 a.m. every day. So like I was skating with the college kids, the D1 college guys. There's like a group of 4 or 5 guys that skate there. So I was skating and working out with them all week with our Russian skating and skills coach. So it was like the first time I put my gear on, and I mean, like I couldn't even tell you. How long it's been since I put my gear on. And
what twig were you using? Easton twig?
Yeah, I pulled one of the Eastons out and had that going. And like I felt okay. I think the guys were laughing because like they think I shoot funny. Like it's just I don't do things like the modern hockey player. And it was really funny. The goalies like were having a hard time stopping, like as we were doing the drills, like they were having a hard time. I'm not trying to go under the bar. Like I'm not, I'm just not, I don't play hockey anymore. I can't do that. And so, I just kind of, how the modern day hockey player, you
still want to maintain your ego a little bit. You can't tell me you weren't trying to go under the bar.
They all pull the puck in before they shoot it. That's like a thing now. Every guy does it. Yeah. I don't do that. We didn't learn to shoot that way. I used to just leave the puck out on in my hip pocket when I would shoot the puck, and the goaltender was just having such a hard time. And I just kept beating them like 5 to 7 inches off the ice, just kind of right, like on that low mid part of the net, but like to the far side. They kept saying like, we keep expecting you to pull it in and trying to shoot it. Basically, the goalie was like, your release is so slow that I can't stop the puck. The kid who was our goaltender for the Skates was a Division III goaltender. And so it was pretty funny. The guys were like cracking up. The other kids on the ice, you might know this name. One kid's Matt Desiderio, who played in the USHL last year for Dubuque, and he's going to Brown. He had 40 points as a defenseman last year in the USHL. And his brother, the younger Desiderio brother, is going to training camp for the Ivan Hlinka USA team.
Oh, wow. That's sick. So,
I mean, this kid is only like 16 years old. He's already committed to Providence, and like I almost forgot how young he was. I'm like, this kid's he's a stud. I mean, he should definitely be playing for Team USA at that Hlinka tournament this summer. But he goes to training camp. Like I said, like next week he heads off to training camp for that USA team. So I skated with those guys all morning or all week. So it's nice to get back on the ice. I trained with them in the gyms. It was like full on back to being a hockey player. I had one collision when we were playing 3-on-3 with Justin Solvay. Like I said, he's the kid who plays at Harvard. Had a really good freshman season. And like, I mean, I didn't let on to this while we were out on the ice, but like his knee got me like right in the back of the leg and like in a battle. And I mean, this kid is like built like a fucking Greek god. I mean, he is strong. You could just see it in the weight, we were in the training room and whatever. And even with his shirt off, like he's literally jacked. And I could never let these guys know, but thank God it happened on Thursday, which was my last day on the ice, because like, man, for the next couple of days, I was in like severe pain. And I was just like, this is why I am so far removed from playing. Like your body just can't take hits
shuts down.
Your body just can't take hits like that anymore.
No.
But you're right. You're not wrong. Like I made sure that everything we did, I was like not mailing it in. Like, I mean, but it's amazing. Like the skills coaches now, like what they work on in the summer, it's so different. Like everything
it's
is
something we could ask Chafee about too.
Sauce and bumpers and like all these different things in these drills where like for us, it was just so much more. The summer stuff was like so much closer to regular practice drills, where now it's just all individual skill work. And you could see why these kids are so much more skilled.
I didn't do any skill work, I don't think.
I mean, literally, they were doing certain things that like I had actually never done them before, right? And they were making it look so easy. And I'm like, shit, like, because you're right. Like, you're older than these guys. Like, yes, I played in the National Hockey League. They're still college players. Like, I want to at least be able to, keep up to an extent. I can't keep up skating wise. Like, I couldn't even skate when I played. So, like, I'm not expecting to be able to skate now. But just from like a skill and hand standpoint, like when we played 3-on-3, like, I don't want to embarrass myself. So, but it was fun. I'm looking forward to checking for charity. It'll be a lot of fun. Tony D'Angelo has a team that he put into it, and that team has he sent me some of the names. Like we were thinking about just making one team, but then we thought it would be more fun if we like put in a couple. But like Bunting is playing and Samuelson is playing. Like those guys are pretty good National Hockey League players. And then he's got a bunch of good college players. He's got the kid Vinny Borghese, who's the captain at Northeastern.
He's nasty. Yeah, he's good.
Got Centrilla, that kid who's a defenseman at Providence College. So it's a Brian Boucher's kid is playing on the team. I think he plays in the American Hockey League now. I forget what his first name is, but he's another one. He was a first-round pick. So the tournament will be fun, and it's coming up here in the next couple of weeks. So it'll be a lot of fun. And that's how I remembered that I'm annoyed at you for choosing to do something else than play with your co-host.
Long story, even longer.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So, all right, listen, our guest is here. We don't want to keep him waiting on this Sunday evening. I'm sure you're going to read him in with a sponsor here, since I think we're getting kind of behind on our sponsors, and we'll get to it.
So before we bring on my friend Mitchell Chafee, just want to give a quick word from our sponsor, Out West. From early morning skates to late night league games, Out West polos are built to keep up, lightweight, breathable, and made to move. They're clean, sharp, and built for guys who don't wear the same thing as everyone else. So head to outwest.us and use code CUPPA, CUPPA, in all caps for 15% off of your first order. And with that, let's bring on Mitchell Chafee. Chafe, what's going on, brother? Good to see you.
Nothing much. How are you doing?
I'm good. I feel like we spoke, like 2 days ago, just kind of shooting the shit.
Yeah, you were down and doing the SoFlo thing, weren't you?
Yeah, it was awesome. I talked about it for like 10 minutes to start the show, actually.
Can we start with something important here? Johnny refers to everybody as his friend. Like, I mean, he just met the homeless guy on the corner of the block of where he lives in New York, and he's telling me that this guy's and him are boys.
This has never happened.
I do think that you're actually his friend, but it's always good for me to hear it directly from the guy, because like I said, he over exaggerates everything. So can we just start with a record setting? Is Johnny actually your friend?
Yeah, he is.
Thanks, Chafe.
He's my friend.
Okay.
And he didn't pay me to say that either. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, he doesn't have any money to do that, so we don't have to worry.
All right, let's get into the stuff though. Like, I actually was gonna kind of chirp you off the bat and say, like, why do your teammates hate you, and why didn't you get the invite to Ireland? Because it looks like a sick trip that those guys are on. But it was funny. Like, I saw a tweet actually. Someone said, like, imagine being Nikita Kucherov and you're skating twice a day, and you look on Instagram and all your teammates are getting drunk in Ireland. Like, what are you thinking? But I know you skate with Kuch every day, so like, what's the summer been like for you down in Tampa?
We were the ones skating, right? We were the ones skating while they were in Ireland. No, it was fun. Actually, I believe that trip is so we got Ryan McDonough a trip to Ireland for his 1,000th game. So he kind of made it like a boys' trip and invited kind of his closest friends, and it was awesome. Like, they had a blast.
You didn't catch the
I know Shaddy was on that trip.
Who?
Shaddy was on that trip.
Yeah. Okay. Shaddy was on the trip. Patty Maroon was on the trip. He's always kind of showing up at the rink because his kid is he's kind of training at our whole ice and weight room and everything. So he's got it all handed to him. So it's pretty nice. But
that's sick.
It sounded like it was a fun trip. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm. Is this summer different for you since this was your first full year in the NHL? Like, has it felt different? Is this your first time doing the summer down in Tampa like the whole time?
Yeah, last summer I came down at the end of July, so this is my first full summer down here, and it's been great. Like, obviously we have all the ice, weight room, training staff, anyone's available, so it's perfect. Like, we come down here and you have everything ready for you. You have however many hours on the ice you want, however many hours in the weight room you want. So it's great. Like, it's first class for sure.
What's it like training with Kucherov in the summer? Because I feel like people have the wrong impression of him because of some of maybe the all-star game stuff or whatever. But then I know from people who have played with him and who have been around him, they talk about how he's got one of the most fierce work ethics, and all he does is skate and train and want to be better. And so you're obviously getting an opportunity to see it firsthand. So curious, what that's been like for you. I mean, this is a guy who you could argue he's the best player in the league every season. I mean, you could certainly make the argument for that.
For sure. I think, after watching him just in practice and during the game, you're sitting there on the bench and everyone's like, holy cow, did he just make that play? It's the middle of the game, it's the middle of practice. So it's incredible. But it's funny because you watch him do it in a game, but then he'll come and do it in the practice, and he does it all summer. That's all he works on is passing, handling pucks, situational skating. So it's super impressive to watch him work on all that stuff now and how that translates over to the game. So that's kind of, I guess, a big emphasis for me this off season too, is kind of working on that same stuff.
Yeah, what's one thing that you're working on this summer, Chave? Because I remember talking to you, back when you were in New York, and Colby and I always talk about the difference between playing heavy and just being physical. And you're one of those guys who always had the heaviness to their game. But I told you, you've looked so much lighter on your feet. In college, you had the heavy boots, and I think
I was probably also
ran guys over.
I was probably 215 in college, and probably eating and drinking more than you probably
should. Cleaning 350 in college, and
dude, he was a freshman. He lifted more than anybody else on the team.
Yeah, well, you're just training different at that point. You're cleaning now when you're in the NHL and you're playing 120 games potentially a year. Your summer workouts are a hell of a lot different.
Yeah, they are. I'd say that nutrition, a little bit of everything kind of mixes in and helps you feel a lot better, I would say. But no, I've worked on, I think, my skating a ton. I think just working on that situational skating, situational awareness and little plays, handling the puck, obviously deadening the spin when the puck's rimmed around, just little things like that. It's your whole game is kind of played below the goal line, and you need to be good at it. And I think that's part of my game that I've always tried to focus on and become better at. And that's something that I'm working on this summer, is a lot of that stuff along the boards.
And let me ask you this, because you start with the Wilds organization, right? And, I know you had an opportunity, you get a little bit of a cup of coffee, and then it's right back to the Iowa Wild for another couple of seasons. It's so hard not to lose belief, right? When you're kind of were you undrafted or were you drafted? Undrafted.
Yeah, I was undrafted. Yeah.
So, you are doing this the hardest way possible. Your story, man, it's not a Cinderella story because you're a phenomenal college hockey player, but guys just don't go 4 years and then sign and then grind.
Only three. Don't add one.
4. I'm sorry. Sorry. You were captain. So does that mean you were captain? Does that mean you were captain your junior year? Because I remember you being captain that when we had you guys that year. So you were junior. It
Yeah.
just you just don't see it that often, right? Like most of the times guys just get handed those tickets like you're a big time free agent. Here's your path right to the NHL. When you got traded from the Wild to Tampa, like did you feel like the opportunity was greater there? What were those conversations like with Julian? Maybe it was maybe it was even the assistant you were talking to, like that whole process for you.
Yeah, so that last season there with the Wild, I was down in Iowa, and 10 games in or so, I tore my ACL. So that kind of ruined my whole season. I pretty much spent that whole season just rehabbing my ACL.
How'd that happen?
It was actually during a game, right off a face-off, kind of a freak play, but just the knee kind of bent the wrong way with another guy, barreling down, and so that part of it was unfortunate. I pretty much spent that whole season as a wash. But then that next year is when I became a free agent, and they wanted me back, and I felt like maybe a change of scenery might be good for me, and that's when I was fortunate enough to have a couple options and ended up choosing Tampa Bay, and thought it was a great organization. Like, who knew? Like, I thought there was opportunity on their bottom six, and so I ended up signing with them. I started the year off in Syracuse, coming off from my ACL, and just kind of worked my way up. Like, started the season there in Syracuse and had a good start to the year, and just continue to feel better. I think that first kind of part of the year was getting back from an injury. When you're coming back from a major injury like that, it's not always easy to jump right in. So I think that first training camp for me was kind of like, all right, like I'm getting my feet back under me and making sure I feel good. And as the season went on, I felt like I was just getting better. And yeah, I forget how many games I spent the last, for sure, half, maybe over half of the season with Tampa.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what were just because I'm so fascinated by everything Julian Brisebois and John Cooper do. Like, I just feel like I know some of the moves that Julian's made in the last couple of years, like trades, like he's tried to go for, like they haven't necessarily worked out. But then you can look at the previous few years and he was hitting everyone out of the park, similarly to how Bill Zito's trades seem to be going and signings seem to be going. So it's kind of funny how that ebbs and flows. But like when you first get called up, like does John Cooper bring you in? Are you having a meeting about your role? Because it seemed like once you got in there, you very, very quickly became one of Coop's guys. And I've even done a game between the benches, I think in Chicago. And like, I'm always watching Coop on the bench. Like, he just like fascinates me because everybody thinks because he's this great guy that he's like a walk in the park. And I actually, from what I've watched, he's pretty demanding, not like an asshole, but he's pretty demanding.
Yeah, he is. And that's that's part of his, I guess, coaching style that not a lot of guys see. He's so good at reading the room and reading the bench where, he just knows what to say. He knows how the game's played, and he's just so good at that part of the game where I think that's what makes him such a great coach. I mean, as you were saying earlier, when I first got called up, like I talked to him, I talked to the assistants, and kind of knew exactly how they wanted, what they wanted from me and how they wanted me to play. So it was pretty easy to kind of step in and, just play my game.
Yeah. And Chafe, this year too, like I remember, I think Stevie sent it to me on Twitter, like seeing your name on PP1. It's like Gensel, Kucherov, Hedman, Point, Chafee. And I was like, holy fuck, that's like the sickest thing ever. Like just your growth with this team, since stepping in. Like I remember you just wanted to like be a guy who's in the lineup every night to then getting a look on PP1 and then being a guy in the playoffs. Like you've really, I think at every level, it seems like you've earned your keep, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So I know I'm kind of rambling on with this a little bit, but when did it click with you in the NHL that like you were a regular? Because I know it's somewhat new, but I feel like at every level you really had to prove yourself.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's like you said, I think every level I've kind of tried to prove myself. Like I've always started on the third and fourth line. I've always tried to work my way up and earn more minutes. And, it's not always the easiest thing to do, stepping in and not playing a ton of minutes, but trying to make those minutes that you get very impactful. So that's kind of something that I've always done. And I think obviously I like playing a physical game and I enjoy it. So it helps. You can play up and down the lineup that way. And I try to have at least enough skill to complement that. And I love shooting the puck too. So that always, especially when Cooch just tells you to stand there. Like, just stand there, don't move. I'm like, okay. You always listen to him.
I asked Dewey. I'm calling him Dewey now because we're friends now, Colby. About the story you told me over the weekend, like you're put on the power play, and I guess Duhaime was chirping you for being on the power play, and then you score like on that ensuing power play. Can you tell us that story? Like I thought that was hilarious, like hearing it from both sides.
Yeah, we were in Washington, and I think I started the game off on the second unit, and then halfway through the game, whatever, I got moved onto the first unit, and I go out there, and he's penalty killing, and so I go out there, and he's like, Chafe, like, are you lost, buddy? Like, why are you out here? Like, you're on the first unit? Like, what's going on? I was just like laughing at him, like didn't really say much. We go out. I ended up scoring when I was out there.
And he was out there too, right?
Yeah, he was out there as well. Yeah. After I go through the line and like later in the game, I was coming to the bench and just staring him down, and he was just laughing. Like he didn't say anything. He was just laughing at me. So it was pretty funny. But obviously I played with him in Iowa, so we know each other, I guess, pretty well.
Mm-hmm. Was he at Providence when you were at UMass as well? Like I would have thought you guys had some crossover there, right?
Yeah, we also had some crossover there as well.
Yeah, he's a fucking yapper, that guy. But he's
yeah.
Who is the better teammate, Duhaime or Johnny?
Me. I was a great teammate. I just didn't play.
Yeah. Johnny was a great teammate. He kept it light.
Well, I mean, I guess he would have had to have, right? Because Carvey was ready to eat his lunch at any point, so he had to try to keep his head down and keep quiet and keep out of Carvey's doghouse. Because
I was always just yapping.
that doghouse was probably pretty deep back in the day. I think it's gotten a little shallower for him as he's won and deservedly so. I mean, the guy's he's an unbelievable coach. Like we had him on the show. Greg Carvels, who we're talking about, former NHL coach, now coach at UMass. What kind of a impact did he have on you? Because I feel like he's the kind of coach that you might not appreciate it so much when you're living in the moment with him. And then maybe when you look back, you realize just how impactful maybe someone like him could be. I don't know if that's your experience. Maybe that's just what I've gauged just in getting to know him over the years. And I do know him pretty well now, and I can't say enough good things about him.
No, I would say you're spot on. He's one of those coaches that he demands a lot. He demands a lot from his players, and it only kind of brings the best out of each and every one of the players there, and has over the years. Like, it's pretty incredible kind of what he's done there is turned the program around, and every player that comes in there, whether they're, a highly talented prospect or whether they're, someone that's not even on any radar, like it's pretty incredible. He'll get the most out of you. And I mean, I owe a lot of my success to him because, he continued to push me and made me a better hockey player.
Yeah, and I wanted to spend some time on UMass too. And like not too much, obviously, because you've accomplished so many great things since being there, Chafe. But like I'll speak on his behalf, Colby, because he's a very humble and down-to-earth guy. The coaches fucking loved him from day one. Like I remember just that we had like video sessions, just like I feel like it was just Chafee throwing a big hit, getting to the front of the net, putting in a rebound goal. Like Chafe, I think you scored the first goal of the year, like that freshman year too, right? Like didn't you score?
Yeah, I think it was the first game.
First game. Yeah. Like right away, you had a good start. And, I remember hearing you do interviews like saying that you would consider yourself a bit of a late bloomer, right? Like, I don't think you put up a lot of points in the USHL, but you came to college and it just translated right away. Like, I actually didn't even realize till like, doing more research on you. Obviously, I still do my homework, even though I know you pretty well. But I forgot that you led Hockey East in scoring sophomore year. Like, that's unbelievable for an undrafted guy. So like from year 1 to year 2 at UMass, like what really helped you take off? And I know a lot of faith in the coaches helps, but
Well,
what
it's
can you say
also crazy and not like it's crazy to look at that because it's 42 points you had that year, right? Now, like freshman defensemen put up 50 points. It's like crazy
Why are you
how
taking away credit from the guy?
no, it was so much harder to score. Like when you put up 42 points, like I'd say the inflation, if we were inflating that number to today, you're talking about that's like a 60 plus point season the way that they scored today with all the power plays. So it's even more impressive.
No, I think things have definitely changed. I know every once in a while I'll go look at the Hockey East scores and college hockey scores. I'm like 7-6. Like
every night.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But no, I think obviously, Carvey and Ben Barr and Jared DeMichael, they always had so much, trust and faith in me, and they let me play in all positions, which was great. Like it only helped me more being able to play power play, penalty kill. It was just so good for my development, being able to play, a lot of minutes and play in every situation. I think it helped me kind of become more well-rounded and just a better hockey player.
And I think you're the perfect guy to ask too, because we've spent a lot of time about this this summer. Like you had the option OHL college. Like you were, I think, drafted by Sioux, right? In the OHL.
Yeah.
And what was, because it wasn't always college for you, was it? Like I don't think that was the case. And then you had to decide what was best for you, and you ended up leaning toward college. So how hard was that decision for you?
Yeah. Well, I wasn't even drafted in the USHL either.
Oh wow. No way.
So I was drafted in the OHL in a late round, and I was thinking about possibly going to the OHL, but
who was it?
The Sioux Greyhound.
Like way up north, right?
Way up north. Yeah.
Oh boy. Not a lot of sunlight up there.
No, there's not. So yeah, I wasn't drafted in the USHL, but still, I still thought that I had a lot of developing to do. And I think that next year I played for Detroit Honeybake team, and obviously we were a good team.
Who was on that team? It's like Max Jones.
So that was kind of the years before with like Max Jones and like Sean Day and all those guys. Yeah. We had like Colin Adams. We had Dylan St. Cyr as our goalie.
Yeah, I remember him. Notre Dame, maybe.
Yeah, we had we had a good team there, and obviously I think that next year just really helped me. And following that year, I made a USHL team, and just continued to grind through the USHL and try and get more minutes. I feel like my USHL experience wasn't as good as my college one because, I was always kind of felt like I was playing on the third and fourth line and trying to just constantly prove myself and doing what I could to, get ice time and, play as many games as possible and make an impact. So I felt like my development through the USHL maybe wasn't as good as it probably should have been, and that's probably why I started developing so much more when I got to college. So like I said, it was just you just have to keep grinding. That's kind of how it's always been for me.
Yeah, and I actually I was hesitant to ask this one, but I feel like I kind of have to. Like, you sign after junior year, you probably could have signed after sophomore year. Was it hard to leave school, like knowing what you guys had? Like, because you didn't finish that year because of COVID, and you guys, probably could have won a national championship that year, and then you sign, and then they win the national championship, like in what would have been your senior year. So it's like, what was that year like for you?
Thanks for bringing it up.
They got rid of the anchor, and they.
That's right.
They got over the hump.
That's exactly what happened. I think you talk to anyone on that team, especially all my closest friends, and they're like, "Well, we didn't need you. Like we didn't want you. Didn't need it." No, it was. I mean, obviously it's tough, but after my sophomore year, I went to Vegas's development camp, and they actually offered me a contract there, and I turned that down. I felt like I needed to go back to school for one more year. I felt like I had one more year of just fine tuning everything, being able to, like I said, play all those situations of power
I'm being
play,
captain.
penalty kill, and be a well-rounded player and be totally ready to, whatever happens after that. So that's why I decided to stay another year. And ultimately, who knew that COVID was going to happen, and that kind of derailed the last little bit of the season. But that's kind of how it ended up. And I mean, I was fortunate enough to have, a list of teams that I met with over kind of COVID with GMs and head coaches and everyone, and got to kind of pick where I wanted to go, which was nice.
Yeah, I've heard those types of meetings, that the way that Tampa does it is kind of like way more impressive than a lot of other teams. I've heard that from some agents, that they're so dialed, I guess is the word that I would use, when they put those sort of free agent presentations together and those pitches. And again, I'm sure they just keep getting better and better at it. And, now you're kind of an old man at 27 years old. So a little different for you. But, as we're kind of talking about this whole situation, like, you're coming into a contract season, and, you're a guy who's seemingly fought for everything in his life. Like, how are you handling that mentally? Because, now you've established yourself, you have a role and an identity in the National Hockey League. You're in Tampa training all season or all summer with, the Hall of Famer. And, I'm wondering, like, is that something that's on your mind? And, are you hoping to stay in Tampa long term? I mean, I don't know why anybody wouldn't want to play hockey.
What do you think he's going to say? Yeah.
Well, I'm going to give him the opportunity. I'm going to give him the opportunity to talk about it. He could put a stance out and say, "Yeah, pay me my money," or what. But you can't have him on and not ask him about it.
No, it's a softball pitch right down the middle. But no, obviously, I mean, yeah, I would love to stay here. Like, I don't know if it gets any better than Tampa. I mean, the weather, how you're treated, the organization, like, it's just top notch. Everything is just incredible here. So it's been great. And, like, even obviously being here this summer, I've been focusing a lot this summer on just, constantly getting better. I think obviously, our whole team was a little bit sour with what happened in the playoffs. And I think it was like maybe a week or two, after we lost, I'd say more than half the guys on the team were already, like, back in the gym. Like, I know, like, some guys were already, like, skating, like, weeks after. Like, I think everyone was pretty upset with, how everything kind of went in playoffs. And, everyone's kind of, I think, itching to get ready back for next season, which, I mean, it's around the corner here.
Yeah, I'm happy you brought that up too, because you've played, I think, 9 playoff games in your career so far, but all of them have been against Florida in the years they've won the cup. Like, you don't know anything else. Like, that's kind of crazy to think about. But, you're in it. We spent so many days talking about. I'm not going to ask you to talk about the Hagel hit on Barkov and whatnot, but, like, just all the antics that went on.
Why
in
not?
that series. I know what he can and can't say. Like, he's not gonna, not gonna put my friend in a tough spot. But, like, playing against the Panthers in the playoffs, like, that's all you've experienced as far as playoff hockey goes. Like, I mean, like, I'm not gonna say, is it as, like, insane as people say? Like, that's a stupid question. But what are those guys like when it comes to actually trying to get under your skin?
No, I mean, obviously, they've won the cup back-to-back years, and they're a tremendous team. And we know what the standard is, and we know, you have to beat them if you're going to want to win the cup. So
the shit talk, I'm saying, though, like, is the extra stuff, like, like, people said the cup final had the most trash talk anyone's ever heard. Like, are they really like that?
I mean, it's always like that. I think us being a rivalry, however many times we play them, every time we play them, it's always like that. It's not.
What do you get chirped about?
I don't chirp.
No. What do you get chirped about? What are they?
I mean, half the stuff you can't even say. I'm not trying to get canceled here, but I mean, we have some great guys like Hagel. He's a good chirper.
Yeah,
he'll get after it.
I've been at ice level with him before. He's got something to say. He's not afraid to stick his nose into it.
No, he'll say it.
But he
Like,
backs it up. That guy's
He does.
nails. Like,
He does.
I mean, Brandon Hagel is pound for pound. Like, I mean, he's absolutely tough as nails, and he 100% backs it up with the way that he plays. Like, he's so skilled, but he also plays in the gray. Like, I think that's why he's so fucking effective, because he'll do shit that people might not be willing or want to do out on the ice. And I think that's one of the reasons he's become as such a star, really. I mean, he's an incredible player.
Yeah, I mean, obviously now he's, this year he's just took off. Like, he took that next step, and like you said, he was a tremendous player. He was down here for, I think, a few weeks, just training and stuff. And I mean, it's fun to watch him, go out there and kind of do it all. Like you said, he'll go out, he'll hit guys, he'll go start stuff in the corner. Like, he'll do whatever it takes, which is, I mean, that's the kind of guy that you want. That's the kind of guy you want on your team, right? So
Yeah.
So give us a good chirp though. Like, you danced around that one. Like,
He's not.
You don't have to get canceled.
Yeah.
You could just tell us, like, what's one guy who like came after you pretty good and got you with something where maybe you were kind of like, all right, like, that's even kind of funny.
Well, I think not me personally. I mean, guys will always, they'll always chirp as you're a bottom guy, like not getting a ton of minutes,
bullshit.
the usual stuff you don't hear. You're like, oh, well, it's nice seeing you out on the ice again. Like,
Yeah.
here's your 7-8 minutes a night. Like, it's all, that's how it goes. You go out for your little timeout twirl, and guys are letting it fly out there. Like, oh, there's your ice time. Yep.
Well, I'll tell you this.
Yeah.
James Neal, I don't know if you guys remember him, but
Of course. Yeah.
not a guy that I like. Not like I honestly believe that if he were to see me out, like, he would literally want to fight. I'm not kidding. Like, there's decent bad blood there for things that have happened away from the rink. But I do remember before all this started, I think it was my second game. Maybe it was my first game. It was my first game. I didn't play many. So
let's have a guest on to hear stories about you.
No, but he said to me, I tried to fight him, Mitchell, and he said to me, why would I fight a guy who's going to be back riding the bus next week in the American or in the jungle? And I laughed.
Yeah.
Because like 48 hours later, that's exactly what I was doing. I was back riding a bus down in the jungle. So, like that's but he wouldn't drop his gloves and do it. And he, like, what can I say back to that? Like, oh, fuck you. Like, he was right.
I think the only guy Chafe has fought in the NHL is Mario Ferraro.
Yeah, I mean, that happened. There's been a couple other, like, somewhat scrums, but it's funny how it works. You go some nights you'll be asking guys to go, they'll say screw off, and then there's other nights that guys are asking you to go, and you're like, all right, like, later in the game, or we'll see kind of how this game's going and stuff. That's just, I feel like that's kind of the part of the game.
Are you and Mario Ferraro boys or what?
Same class at UMass.
I mean, we're friends, and yeah, it was actually pretty funny how that all went down. I hit, I don't even know who I hit.
Clean hit.
Yeah, it was a really good hit right in front of our bench. Like, knocked him down. Like, it was good. Immediately, I'm like starting to get up. Mario's already grabbed me. He's yelling like, let's go. And I was like, okay, like, we'll go. But as like he's grabbing me, the ref is also grabbing me. So I have like two guys grabbing me right now. I was like, I can't even get my gloves off right now. Yeah, it didn't last very long. So it was, I guess, I don't even know if you can call it a fight, but
I count it.
Did you guys talk in the box or anything, or did you talk after the game?
I sent them a group chat text that night because I was watching it on TV. Like, it was like a West Coast game. I said, like, hug and kiss and make up or whatever. And I don't even know if they answered me.
Probably didn't.
Probably not. No.
Yeah, like, what was the fallout? Are you guys good? Are you guys cool now, or?
Yeah, I mean, we're as good of friends as they come.
Do we have the fight here? Is our producer? He's got it. All right, there it is by the bench. Yeah, the ref got right in there, huh?
He didn't let us go.
Oh, that's too bad. Hey,
maybe that's why Mario grabbed me.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. Oh,
Great.
come on. You got
Yeah,
back
you got
into
him.
that
That's a
one.
fight. That's a fight.
Yeah, that's 100% a fight. And kudos to you for fending off the linesman and then taking it to him, getting that and center of gravity going against him. That's funny right there.
Mhm.
Mario after I think was like, "Hey, like, sorry, I had to grab you first. Like, I didn't want to." He's like, "I didn't want to give you any chance to, have you be grabbing me." So
Oh
He's
yeah,
seen
you
you in the gym.
smoked that guy. That was a good clean hit too. Who is that? 15? Is that
It's a Russian. What's his last name?
Oh, that's a good clean hit too. For those of you who are audio only, producer Vic is teeing it up. We're watching it in slow motion. Yeah, there it is. You're not kidding. That the ref has your left and half of your right. So you're really at a disadvantage in that fight. Listen, that's the beauty of hockey. Like that is the beauty of hockey. Colin Wilson and I were roommates at BU, and we fought one time in practice. And then we went to the dining hall after. It just shit happens.
Yeah.
Like
that's how it goes. We have no bad blood. Like after the game, he's like, "Hey, nothing personal." I was like, "Hey, nothing personal." Like that's
awesome. That's so great. I love
Shape,
that.
I got like two more things for you here that I feel like I have to ask. One thing about Wayne Gretzky is I feel like he's always like you've met him before, no? Like, isn't he always down there with Coop? Like
he's always down here. He always comes to Coop's catch.
And have you had any moments with him?
I mean, I've just introduced myself. Nothing, haven't gotten super close with them. Like I said, I think almost every year he kind of comes down to Coop's catch, which is like an awesome event. Like it's a cool event where we all take out like charter fishing boats and we do like a fishing tournament.
Yeah,
and then after we go to like the bar restaurant and hand out trophies and stuff, but it's like an awesome charity for kids with cancer, and Coop puts on a great event. So
Johnny would be going up to Gretz asking him for his phone number and like
I've met him twice, and I've never
like, hey,
him.
like let's get a beer. Like Johnny would be like so awkward and like invite himself.
I've met him
over to do
twice.
something.
And I haven't done that. Mark Messier is the one I need redemption
Oh,
on.
do you know the Messier story?
I don't think.
Oh my God! This was it All-Star, Johnny?
All-Star last
2
year.
years ago.
Yeah.
Oh God!
You can tell it. You can tell it.
I gotta hear it.
You gotta tell it because I'll mess it up because like it's so long ago. But like he got a chance to talk to Mess at
3 a.m. at a bar
at PK's party. PK had a party. It was like well represented. All the guys who were playing the All-Star game were there. A lot of attractive individuals walking around. It was just a perfect feeding ground for Johnny Boy pre him getting wifed up, which we will get to on the show because I have noticed something on social media about Johnny's relationship that's really bothering me. His
get to the fucking point, man.
But he goes up. He goes up to Messier. What did you say to him?
I'll just tell a story. You're doing a terrible job, Dave. So my friend Anna Dua is like, "Do you want to go meet Mark Messier?" And I'm like, "Oh my God, like yes, but like no, I'm wasted right now. Like now's the worst possible time to go meet Mark Messier." And she's like, "I'm just gonna bring you over." So she brings me over to Messier. I reach in, shake my hand. I'm like, "Hey, Mess, I'm Johnny. I wrote that you were my hero in my 5th grade yearbook." And he was like, "Cool, man."
It was just no.
I got so nervous, dude.
He didn't give you anything, and you just panicked.
And I just walked back and sat down.
This wasn't an open bar, so like you wouldn't expect a fan to come and fanboy you. This was like a closed event, private party.
Yeah.
So you would just think like, oh, everybody that's here at this party like knows how to behave and like knows how to act, but
no.
Yeah, it was rough. It was rough.
So
you can redeem yourself someday.
Hopefully he doesn't remember it, but that was not my best showing. One other guy I wanted to ask you about is Jason Berger, who we all know. He just got the Islanders head equipment manager job, and if you can just like say, we have a lot of Islander fans that listen to our show, so if there's anything you could say about Cheese,
and I think we're gonna have him on. I had him in the American League too, so I know him pretty well as well. And he's like a Philly guy too, so we want to have him on the show because I think our listeners would appreciate hearing what like a day in the life and what a season is like for an equipment guy in the National Hockey League. I think it's probably fascinating to people.
Yeah. Yeah, you should definitely get him on. He's probably a good guy to have on too. 'Cause, I mean, he'll talk your ear off.
He's
That's
Yeah,
got
oh
a
yeah.
lot to say.
Last time I
He's
saw him, he didn't shut up with me and Chafe in the lobby of that hotel.
oh yeah. Oh yeah. No, he's one of the best. Like he's awesome. He'll do anything for you. And I mean, I was super happy as soon as I found out that he got the
Mhm.
job. Like I was like, hey, like you're gonna love it. Like congrats, you totally deserved it. And I mean, the work that they put in is incredible. So to him to get the head job there is
Yeah.
pretty awesome for him, and I know he's super excited. I think
Mhm.
he's actually leaving here pretty soon, if he haven't already.
He must have gotten better at sharpening skates for him to make it all the way to the number one guy. But don't worry, I'll say that to him directly when we
Yeah.
have him on the show.
Yeah. I won't tell him that.
And just my last one for you, Chafe. Like, I know you're a big Lions guy. What's like is there a crew that gets together to watch football like on the team? Like, how do you spend your NFL Sundays as someone who's like literally a diehard, Lions fan?
Yeah. We've done a few like football Sundays. I know the Headmans have had like they've thrown a whole party at their house before. I mean, we all try and get together when we can. Sometimes the schedule kind of doesn't allow for it,
Mhm.
but when we can, we'll try and get everyone together and go over to someone's house. And then we got a big fantasy football pool going on, so
Who won it last year?
I think it was Darren Radish.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Ranger now, I think.
I just
Taylor.
watched
Yeah, Taylor.
Mitchell. I just watched Quarterback on Netflix.
Oh yeah.
And I'm an Eagles fan. Obviously, that's like those are two heavy hitting teams in the NFC, and like I just love. Of course, I'm drawing a blank on his name right now, but who's the coach for
You must love him.
the Lions? What's his name
Dan
again?
Campbell.
Dan Campbell.
I mean, that guy, like, you just want to go. I mean, when he speaks, like, I'm like watching at home and like, I want to go through a wall for that guy. And
Yeah.
I've never even met him. I really enjoyed the Jared Goff parts and hearing how that whole trade went down. Just like, I know we've heard the Matt Stafford side of it because I think he was on the show previously, but I'm rooting for Jared Goff. Like after watching him on that show, definitely rooting to see him continue to succeed. And I like everything about that guy as a competitor, as a quarterback, as a leader. Like I became a fan of his after watching that show.
Yeah. I think he's one of those guys that's just like you have to cheer for him. Like he's done everything the hard way. Like he's gone through it. He had a terrific season last year, and they kind of fell short in the playoffs.
They were injured. They were banged up in the playoffs.
Their defense was really banged up. So hopefully this year's the year. We'll kind of see what happens.
Hopefully it's not, but yeah, I hear you. Honestly, like for me, it was disappointing when they lost because I was looking forward to seeing them go on a collision course with the Eagles. Like I wanted to see that game happen. Obviously, when they lost, I knew it'd be an easier road for the Eagles to get to the Super Bowl. Like it just is a reality, right? But those games should be pretty good this year. Those two teams should both be really good.
Yeah, I agree. They'll probably meet in playoffs this year. We'll see.
Yeah, you'd have to hope, right? If all goes well. So, all right, man. Listen, we really appreciate your time. It's he's
getting married next week.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's amazing.
Thank you.
Could have told me that before the show, Johnny.
I was gonna thank him, because I know he's got a lot going on right now, but you stole the honor for me. So
cheers to that, and congratulations on your life being over. I'm married and have two kids, so I can attest to that very well. But no, in all seriousness, congratulations, man. That's incredible. Even more special for you to give us an hour of your time here on a Sunday night, knowing you have that coming up. So I'll be rooting for you now. It's great to meet you again. We realized we met before one time. Like I said, you're an easy guy to root for as well because the way that you play the game. And thanks for coming on. I'll let Johnny take it home because I'm sure he wants to have a final word with you. But great having you on, man. Thanks for your time.
Yeah, thank you guys. Good to see you.
Thanks, Chafe. See you down in Tampa. All right.
All right, we'll see you.
All right, be good. Awesome stuff. Yeah, he's the best, dude.
Wow,
Just
he's
such a
getting
humble
married
guy.
next week. That's awesome. Good for him.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good transition
Are you
into
going
what
to his
you have.
wedding?
No, I think he's having a smaller wedding. We
Gotcha.
talked about what?
I said gotcha.
Yeah. But I do want to give a quick word from our sponsor, Perasso, and then I'll let you pick your spot about my relationship, I guess. I don't know how you would phrase that, but just a quick word from Perasso, the most complete choice for shaving and beard care. Made in Italy since 1948, Perasso has been a staple of Italian culture and barbershops globally for 4 generations. So get 15% off at Perasso-USA.com with our promo code Hockey15 in all caps, Hockey15. Go ahead. Floor is yours.
Well, so we were kind of talking about the training camp, and I was telling you how I was back on the ice. We did just have our junior team's training camps. My first time going through this. We had 100 and we started with about 160 kids on Monday, and we had about 30 goalies, and then we got down to I think 31 players or something like that by Friday. Man, that was intense. Like those meetings, having to cut guys, like guys that had played in the organization, and you would be. I think you would approve of the way that I handle letting guys go, because I know you
bring your playbook.
You think that you would probably think that I would just be a dickhead about it.
Yeah.
But I'm
I would
not.
think you tell the kids to quit hockey.
No, never. Obviously, especially not at this age.
So you told me when I reached out.
I didn't say that to you directly. Come on, I didn't say that to you. You also, come on. You had just played 4 years of Division I hockey. Let's not twist it up here. But listen, I try to be really straightforward with the guys. Like the thing that always bothered me when I was being cut from NHL training camp every year, and I know it's different, it's pro, but I was 21 years old. These kids some of them are 19, 20 years old. So the age difference is not, and I just always remember having those conversations with, it was Don Sweeney, it was Peter Chiarelli, whoever, and they'd tell you how great you played, and then you were gone. You didn't make it. And I'm like, I didn't play that great if I didn't make it. And I always left there sort of more frustrated with being bullshitted than realizing, okay, go put your fucking lunch pail, your hard hat on and grab your lunch pail and go get to work in the American League, right? And so I vowed that I was going to be really direct with these guys and I was going to tell them. Now, I still am not I make sure that my delivery is and my tone is right, because I don't want to be a dick about it. Mm-hmm. But I try to be as direct as I could with we had 2 20-year-old kids who came down from Ontario, and they both are actually represented. They're clients of Anthony Stewart, who we've had on the show before. I couldn't I wasn't going to, it could have just told him, oh, we have an import problem, or cause that's a thing and whatever. But I just said to him, look, you didn't bring enough offense. I don't think your skating is where it needs to be. I had to find you. I said, I had to look for you in order to find you in the scrimmages. And at your age, you need to stand out, and what was really cool about our training camp is we had 4 or 5 kids make our training camp that we didn't know were coming. They weren't recruited. Most of our draft picks, we had 1 draft pick that didn't make it, who didn't even make it past the first cut. We had 1 or 2 of our tenders that did not, a couple of our tenders didn't make it. A bunch of them did, but we had 3 or 4 guys that just showed up and made our team. One of them is actually Rick Kowalski's son. Rick Kowalski was a coach in the NHL, Islanders, Devils, AHL. He's coached forever. His son is young. He's just turned 18 years old. He came to our camp. We didn't know who he was. And on Monday, we were like, oh, this guy might be interesting. The kid, his name is Ryan. And we were like, oh, he's an interesting player. By Friday, the room was in unanimous agreement that he should be there. He was good enough. He beat a bunch of guys out. And the process of seeing that happen for guys that were quote unquote undrafted free agents that came to our camp, and having 3 or 4 of those guys make our team and probably climb higher up our depth chart than some returning players, I thought that was cool. But the shitty side of letting guys go, especially guys who have played in the organization for the Titans for a number of years. Like, that's not fun. That's not enjoyable. A lot of these are kids that I have relationships with, and they know they can come to me for honest feedback. And so I had to have a lot of those conversations. And I would tell them, listen, I'm just telling you my opinion. Go and prove me wrong. Show me that I'm wrong. Shove it up my ass. Like, rub my face in it. And then, like, we'll circle back. Last year we brought 3 or 4 guys back to the team that got cut in training camp. So this was an interesting experience. Like, going through it. Jimmy Dowd was one of the people we had there with us evaluating. We had about 10 people in the room, and after every practice and every game, even at the intermissions, we would go through every player that was playing in the game. Like, we put thorough notes together on every single player after every session. Mike Havland was there, the assistant coach from the Blue Jackets. We had Joe Pereira was there. We had RJ, oh my God, I'm blanking on his last name, from St. Cloud. We had a couple Division III coaches there. He's a coach at St. Cloud. So we had a very interesting group of Division I, NHL, junior, whatever coaches evaluating, and it was an interesting experience for me, no doubt. Getting to be on the other side of that type of situation. Obviously, I've always only been on the other side, and I tried to apply the things that frustrated me when I was in that situation.
Yeah, but when you're told the truth, it still fucking hurts.
Like, and here's the thing. I'm sure it hurts, but hopefully hearing the truth from me can at least maybe it motivates them. And listen, I would expect them to be mad, Johnny, but I would feel like when you're honest and they feel like you've at least been honest, even if they disagree with you, maybe there's like some respect there where it's like, okay, I might disagree, but I respect that he told me how he felt. Where I feel like if you lie and you bullshit and you tell a player how great they were and they didn't make it, then they just go home confused. Well, if I was so good, why didn't I make the team?
Yeah, no, it's true. I mean, I dealt with that when I left UMass. I'll never forget it. That weekend that we just talked about with Chafe. Like, we played ASU first 2 games. Carv said every forward will get in a game. I was the only forward who didn't get in either game. We had like a meeting the second day so Carv could say who was in the lineup. Then they did one-on-one meetings with Carv, Benny, and D-Mike. When my meeting came up, Carv was like, what do we pride ourselves on? And I was like, being fast, playing hard, and being prepared. And he was like, yep, don't think you're that fast. Don't think you're that hard, but you are prepared. Like, the systems, like, the game. He gave me that. And that's when he told me, like, I don't think you'll be an every night guy. And like, that was where, my whole transferring transition kind of started. Like, I spent the next 2 months trying to prove them wrong. But you know me, like, I'm like, I wouldn't say I'm mentally weak, but I'm definitely not mentally tough. So like, I did try to prove them wrong, but it fucked with my head. So the next game I got in, I took 2 penalties and I was -3. The worst game I've ever played in my life. And then I never played again at UMass. Like, but that's the kind of kid I was. So like,
but let me ask you a question. Yeah. What other way could he have delivered that to you?
I don't know.
Yeah.
See,
like,
that's why I do respect it. Like, again, like, he wasn't wrong in his assessment. Like, I wasn't the fastest skater.
Right.
Like, I played hard, but not like the style of game that like Chafe,
Yeah, like it's just, you were more of a skilled, you were a little more of a highly skilled, softer player.
Yeah.
And there's room for that in the game. It just wasn't
room in that team.
Fit their identity. Yeah.
So it was hard.
And then you went to Mercyhurst and had a solid run there, solid. Come on, listen. I don't care if you play Division I hockey, like, how I feel about that.
I'm just saying, to your point though, like, the brutally honest thing, it's always more respectful to be that way, but every kid is just so different and every player is so different. And I think I wasn't really a kid who had a big ego, so like, for me it was different. But like, when you have a big ego and you're told that stuff, like, I could see those kind of kids being like, oh, well, fuck this, like.
Well, but I had a huge ego and I was dying for that, to be told the truth. And I got to tell you something. It's one of the reasons why, when I look back at even my time with Bruce Cassidy, like, I can appreciate it now. Like,
well, yeah,
and you do too. Like, you speak so highly of those situations. And That's like my
I wish
hope.
I knew better at the time.
Yeah, but nobody does. But that's my hope. Like, I hope my style with these guys is something they'll appreciate when they get a little bit older. Like, even I say it all the time, like the interpersonal shit with Bruce Cassidy, like I've said it, like, but I've also talked about how much I respect him as a coach.
Yeah.
Jack Parker was no walk in the park. I couldn't see it as much while I was there. And when I look back at it, like my best years were with him and Bavo and Quinny, like because of the way that they were to me. And I hope that's more what I'm going for, because I don't expect an 18-year-old kid to be able to see it like I can see it as a 36-year-old now, And so that's just kind of how that all went down. And it's funny, I did think of you though, because again, you've talked so openly about being cut from the USHL training camps and, finding your way into the NAHL and with LaFontaine and just like all that stuff. So like, as I was going through some of that stuff, I honestly, I was like sort of thinking about you too. I was like, okay, like, the delivery, like you almost remember some of the things.
You gotta think, like when you talk to these kids, think like you're talking to me.
It's in a way, I'm like, I got to think about the things you say to me, even privately. Obviously we bicker here on the show, but you and I talk all day, every day off the show as well. And so I kept a lot of that in mind, thinking like, okay, like some of these kids might be like, he tells me it was for him. So I try to have that lens a little bit. So you actually helped me in the way that I dealt with some of these situations without you even knowing it.
Yeah. Well, thank you. And honestly, like, I think Glenn was joking about it this weekend that like, he'd love to see you and I on a bench together because Frank got that high school job. And I honestly think, we would complement each other well on a bench. Like I could not be the head coach, but I'd be the good buddy assistant coach, like you'd give it to the kids straight and hard. And I'd just be there to be like, hey, like,
I'm sure the players would love having you. Any team that you coach,
I'd be a great assistant coach.
The player. Oh yeah, but I did see the Frank thing. He's going to coach Germantown Academy, which is where Mike Richter played back in the day.
Yeah,
it's cool. Right down the road. It's right down the road for me. So, yeah, I know that's one of the things Frank has cooking for next season. So, I wanted to just ask you about the Jackson Blake contract.
Okay. Not about the Instagram stuff.
No, not yet. Maybe not at all. I don't know. But like, let me ask you, like, where your level of support for a guy who's played 81 games in the National Hockey League. He played one game the first year and 80 the second year. And listen, 34 points, like it's nothing to turn your nose at. 13, almost 14 minutes a night. Now, the cap hit at $5 million is very, very modest. 5.1 million because there's deferred money. It's really like 5.5, but whatever. 8 years and look, by all accounts, this guy's going to play and be a good player. Like, no doubt about it. But I don't know, like there's still a gamble here. He just, his body of work is so small in the National Hockey League. And I know $5 million, the hope is even next year, if he's in your top six at 5.1 and last year he
probably will be.
Right. And last year he scored 34 points. If he gets 50 points next year at $5.1 million, it's already a good contract. The hope is that in year 3 through 8, he's the most underpaid player in the National Hockey League, right? So you're taking a risk, but it's a low risk because 5.1 is going to be like 3%, 2% of the cap by the time the 8th year happens.
Yeah.
Does it sit well with you to give a guy an 8-year deal after one season in the National Hockey League?
Well, at least he produced, and the one thing about Jackson Blake, granted, like I think he was a 4th round pick.
Wait, I might have called him Jason Blake, by the way. So if I did do that, I know if I did do that, apologies for those.
I didn't catch it, to be honest. But Jackson Blake, like 34 points in a rookie year is pretty damn good. He had 60 points in his second year at North Dakota, which is insane. 42 points his freshman year
at North Dakota. He
puts up points.
Stud.
And I actually think he did pretty decent in the playoffs this year too. No, 6 points, 15 games, like in his rookie year. That's pretty solid. Didn't he got moved down the lineup a little bit in the playoffs, if I remember correctly? Yeah, but Carolina, nobody on their team could score against Florida.
Yeah, that's okay. I'm just asking the question.
Yeah. But he was a guy I think who was pretty much in the top 6 for the majority of the season. First power play, like he's a very strong player, and I think signing him, especially, listen, I'm sure there's well, I don't know what the term would be, but Carolina's going to want to lock guys in. You don't want to lose guys. They've lost guys time and time again. So if you can get a young prospect, what's he, 21 years old? Let me see. 21. Yeah, he's 21 years old. You lock him up for 8 years, like no brainer, especially at that number. Like
you just bought about 3 years of his UFA. Yeah. I mean, and he could be a $10 million player at that time.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I get the business side of it. Like, I really do. I think this is a very low risk move by Carolina, right? Like, I look at this as a very low risk, high reward move. So, like I said, I'm not picking on this move at all. Yeah. I'm just curious. It's jarring for me to see a guy who's played 1 year. Like,
and as a 4th round pick. Like,
rookies normally have to play at least 2 years an entry level deal. Then they get a bridge deal. Like, it's just, or it's like they were the number 1 overall pick, and like we have these like savior hopes for them. So, like, to say you brought it up a couple times, he was the 4th round pick. So it just was a weird thing to see. Like, I was surprised. That's all I'm saying. It
happened on like Friday night, I think, too, like a random Friday night in July. Like, but yeah, no, I think it's a good deal for both parties. I think it's great for him to lock that in too for 8 years.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's you know how we always say on the show, like, every guy's different. Some guys want years, some guys want dollars. Clearly, job security was important to him.
Yeah.
Because now he can take his $45 million to the bank, but he might have forfeited, I don't know, like, let's say he gets to be realistically like an $8.5 million a year guy. So maybe he left $3 million on the table by 5 years, right? Because like the first couple of years, like, he's still kind of proving himself, let's say. So let's say he left somewhere like between 15 and $20 million on the table. Look, the hope is that he'll do so well at this number, and the cap will be so crazy that when he's 28 and he gets his next deal, or 29, well, he could re-sign at 28. He'll get 7 years at $10 million a year, and he'll make another $70 million. And then there's his career earnings at 110 or 115 million bucks. So that's all. I thought it was worth a topic to discuss. Because there's not a lot going on. So Did you read Peraza already, or no? Did you give them a little bit of love? So
yes.
All right. Well, look, we went long today, which is nice. This is where I think we started. We're about an hour and 15 minutes. And before we get to the bet, I need our audience to weigh in on something personal.
I'm on your side with this.
I agree. So don't
you agree that I agree with you? Is that what you're saying?
No, I know you're on my side, and we agree on this topic. So I gave Johnny's girlfriend some shit the last couple of days because
not to her face, just to me. Or were you messaging her too?
I wrote her about it. Oh, she didn't tell you that?
No.
Oh yeah, I wrote her about it because I don't like it. Only I get to mess with you. I don't like when other people mess with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get defensive about that a little bit.
Okay.
Only I get to do that with you. So.
I actually do want to say quick. I played in the men's league game at the Panthers practice facility. My friend Steven Ipri invited me to play. I walk in the locker room. A guy named Wes was like, "Morning Cuppa," and I was like, "What's up, man?" And like every person I meet, Wes was a super nice guy. We hung out after, had beer, wings, and every person I meet that listens to our show, the first thing they say is, "Man, Kobe's got to take it easy on you." Every single person I meet,
I know
the same thing.
People say it to me too.
Yeah, keep going. Sorry, I wanted to slip that in.
So we don't have our live chat, which honestly, this show sucks without our chat. Yeah. This is so much.
That's
more
good to say while we're in a contract negotiation.
Well, we'll get to that later date. It's so much more fun to do the show when we have our audience live with us. Like, I know not everyone's live, but like, we truly realize in the summer, we how much we need you guys, how much you guys make our show during the season. So October's right around the corner. Don't worry. But so I need a way in here. So get on YouTube and leave it in the comments. Okay. That's what I'm asking for. Is I think that it's messed up that Johnny has posted his girlfriend on his Instagram, what, 3 times?
Two on the feed.
2 posts on the feed. No, forget
multiple
stories.
stories.
Don't matter. Stories go away. Okay.
Mhm.
She has not posted you yet, and I don't like it. And I think she should be posting a picture of you on her Instagram and putting that flag on Instagram.
I agree.
I said that to her.
I agree.
I said that to her, just so you know.
Yeah. And then she posts one today and it says like it was what was her thing? In good company. Not one picture with me.
I never scroll. When someone does a multiple post, I look at the first picture. That's it.
It was fucked up.
I looked because I was like, oh, she finally did it, and she put him second or third. Nothing.
Nope.
I don't like it. I don't like it.
She's gonna be so mad at this.
I'm not gonna say her name.
She's probably gonna break up with me after this.
I'm not gonna say her name, but I don't like it. And I hope the chat doesn't like it either. And I think we need our chat to let us know your thoughts in the comments. And we're gonna show her the comments. So be nice, say your piece, but keep it above board. Yes.
Yeah.
Let's not, if it's me or Johnny, you can go low blow, go below the belt. With significant others, let's keep it above the belt. But we need some feedback on this so we can give the feedback to her, because you guys are a big part of our lives, whether you like it or not. And you've all invested yourselves in Johnny's personal life now for going on almost two years now. Right?
Yeah.
You're like Ed TV. If you remember that movie, you probably don't.
No.
That was a great movie. Vic, I know you know Ed TV. I know you know that movie. So that's my personal tangent. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I've got Johnny's back on this one, everyone. For all of you that think that Johnny hates me.
I don't. Yeah.
It's not true.
Sometimes I actually hated you and Vic a lot this weekend, but like that's a different story.
We were just breaking your balls.
You guys were so fucking annoying all weekend.
You didn't like the memes, did you? We had the memes going this weekend.
I wasn't even like really looking.
Or the GIFs. You wouldn't call them memes. GIFs.
Oh, yeah.
Vic's in the chat right now, just hitting you with the line. So,
yeah.
All right, look. Good show tonight, pal. Let's get to Bet365, and then we'll say goodnight to everyone, and then we'll reconvene and figure out what the plan is for next week.
So as we always do, we got to give a shout out to our sponsor, Bet365. Whatever your bet is, it's never ordinary at Bet365. So download the app and get in on the game. You must be 19 or older. And this week, we're going to look at the odds for the President's Trophy in this coming season. Last year, I went out on a limb. I said the Toronto Maple Leafs are going to win it. They did not. The Winnipeg Jets did, right? Did they win the President's Trophy? I think so, right? Winnipeg won it. They ran away with it a little bit at the end from Washington.
Vic?
Yes, but this year,
my brain is not in what happened last season.
Yes,
mode.
Yeah, it was Winnipeg. The Panthers right now are the favorite. I don't think there's any way the Panthers like remotely give a shit in the regular season enough to win a President's Trophy. Like they're obviously gonna make the playoffs, but I don't think they're gonna like be the best team in the regular season. I wonder who would be my pick right now.
I know who mine would be. Vegas Golden Knights.
Yeah, plus 750.
I think they're coming with a vengeance next season. That's what I think.
Hate it. I don't hate it, but no Pietrangelo is a big loss.
Oh, I mean, that's more than a big loss.
Big loss. Like you're so confident in them this season without him for the whole year.
With their decor and Hannafin, I think there's more than enough that can step up there in Vegas. I really do. And listen, I think Mitch Marner is gonna get out of Toronto and like thrive. Really, like I think he's gonna thrive. I mean, he thrived in Toronto during the regular season. So I just think when I think about what Bruce Cassidy did for Jack Eichel's game, I think Mitch Marner is just going to another level. That's what I think.
So I actually wanted to propose a question from that. Who in the NHL gets the most hate that they don't deserve? Would you say? Because like Marner probably gets the most hate, and sometimes in the playoffs, I guess it like could be warranted. But like
he deserves it. I don't think he gets hate I don't think he gets hate during the regular season. I think everyone just says, "Let's see what he does in playoffs."
Yeah,
and I think he deserves what he's gotten in playoffs. I think him and Matthews I think anybody on Toronto, like, they deserve what they've gotten. Like, it's just part of making a ton of fucking money and
Yeah.
being in a huge market. Who gets the most hate that is not deserved? Well, I mean, Nikita Kucherov gets a lot of hate.
Different.
Right. Who
It's a
gets
tough
the most?
question. Yeah, it's a tough question.
Do you have somebody in mind?
No, I honestly just thought of the question as we were talking about Marner, because I was having I was listening to Part of My Take, and they were doing like the best worst movies, and I was just like talking to my friends about like what movie gets so much hate, but like it's actually a good movie. So I thought
Which is what movie for you?
For me, it's That's My Boy. Like everyone says, the Adam Sandler movie, That's My Boy, sucks, but I think it's like one of my favorite movies because Adam Sandler does that stupid Boston accent the whole time.
Oh, that movie's so
Donnie.
dumb.
Yeah, it's so dumb, but I love it. I love it. But like
You're
everyone
gonna
has that
love
reaction.
Happy Gilmore too. I guarantee it. It's so.
I need to watch. I'm watching it after this.
You're gonna love it. It's so dumb.
All right, but I do like Little Nicky also. Big
I don't have a guy for that right now. I have to like go through guys.
Okay, we can save that honestly maybe for when we have our chat.
But hey, let's hear what you all think. Give us comments on this. Go to our YouTube feed and leave us your comments. Like, who gets hate that doesn't deserve it? I'm trying to think. Like,
and it's like because of the way they play, not like anything, nothing like personal away from the rink, like that kind of stuff. Like all just like based on play. I'm gonna tweet it right now.
I don't have a good answer for you. No, don't tweet it. We want our show. We want like save something for the show.
No.
Okay, you don't have to tweet it. All
right.
I'll
tweet it on Wednesday when the show.
Okay, fine. But we want our audience to like come to our YouTube, weigh in on it. Let's hear what you think about who that might be. Vic, I would have
answered Trouba a year ago. I would have answered Trouba.
Yeah, that's.
I think Trouba only got hate because he was making $8 million. But like, I think the Rangers actually missed a guy like Trouba this year.
I think that's so funny because like they should, if they're mad about his $8 million, be mad at the general manager who gave it to him, not the player. Yeah. And I would agree with you. I think that would be a good. Yeah. Listen, I defended Trouba a lot on this show. Like I had his back quite often. If you really go back to that for our first season doing the show.
Mm-hmm. So he'd be my answer right now.
All right. What do you got going this week? Anything interesting?
I'm going to Atlantic City on Wednesday for. I still don't really know the full details.
It's an NHL golf tournament. Yeah. Former players, current players. And,
I'm not playing though. Like Dan Powers invited me.
Nate Thompson and 44 Concierge and the Empty Netters guys host this every year. Mm-hmm. Jamie Carroll's also involved. 44 Concierge. They're a concierge service for players. It's a great business that they have. Nate, obviously super involved. It's 44, his number. Mm-hmm. And so, like I know they're doing that right here in South Jersey this coming week. I think I'm actually going to come on Saturday. We're going to be out in Sag Harbor for the week with
no shit, really?
With at
where Emily is.
Oh, really? She'll be out in Sag Harbor?
Yeah, she'll be there.
Well, it's too bad you're not going to be out there.
Well, maybe when are you going?
We're going tomorrow for the week.
Maybe no, she can't.
So we're doing a little family week with Shat and Kirks and Wilsons and let all the kids hang out and play together. And Shatty's got a good spread out there. So that'll
do some PI work for me.
If I see her out and about, right? No, I don't go out anymore, pal. Sorry. Yeah. But we're going to come home. I think we're going to come home Saturday. And I think we're going to come and go right to the shore. And I talked to Jamie, and actually I talked to him earlier. We were talking about some players and he said, come Saturday night. I know the guys are all, there's like a dinner and everybody's going out on Saturday night in Atlantic City. So Borgata. Yep. So actually, he's at the Borgata. Yeah. So shout out to them. So we'll see. So hopefully, timing permits or whatever, because I'm going to the Bahamas next week, Monday and Tuesday for a quick trip. So I don't know for sure, but hopefully I'll get a chance to see you Saturday and we'll get a chance to have some fun away from the show, but enjoy that. Try not to scare anybody off, but try to get some guests for us.
I will.
I know Dennis Seidenberg's going to play, and he'd be a terrible guest on our show. He doesn't say fucking 12 words. So Dennis would not be a fun guest to have on the show. So don't worry about asking him to come on, but see if you can't work on some other guests for us. All right.
Yep, I will.
All right, buddy. Listen, have a great week. As we said, it's Sunday night, the 27th. The episode will come out on Wednesday the 30th, or 28th, 29th, 30th. Yep, Wednesday the 30th at 9 a.m. on the Daily Face Off YouTube and everywhere else where you get your podcasts. And this
I love how you say that though, and like they're listening to it when you say like they know it's out. They're listening to it.
Yeah, I guess that's true because it's not live, right? I also have no idea where people get podcasts anymore.
No, but it's just funny. Like you're like, this episode's gonna come out on Wednesday 9 a.m. Yeah, no shit. If they're listening to it, they know that.
Yeah, but if they don't listen to it until Friday, at least they have like a timestamp and they have like a little bit of an understanding of when the show came out, when we recorded it. So, fair point. But I also try to give people a little bit of an understanding. I wouldn't expect you to be professional about it. So. Anyways, all right, listen. Have a good week. As we said, Vic, great job today. The one time we needed you, you were there. You had the video teed up, ready to go.
You were so dedicated.
Our guy Vic in mid-season form on a Sunday night at 9 p.m. So you have to absolutely love that. We hope everybody has a good week. And like we said, we miss you guys live. We really do. Let's enjoy this last month of the summer. And then at least in September, there'll be shit going on. And then we'll be back going live, hopefully in October. Contract situation still up in the air. Just to be completely open and honest with you guys, I think hopefully we'll have some good news. At least Johnny will have some good news first, and then hopefully shortly thereafter I will have good news. They got to wrap up the heavy hitter first before they take care of the B guy and the producer. So with that, everybody have a great week. Have a great night, Johnny and Vic, and we'll see everybody back here in about another 7 to 10 days. Have a good one, everyone.